By the way, represented today, we have runners from 18 different states and 4 different countries. They've come from all over the world to run here in Andover. Good job, 5K runners, you're there. Right around this corner, and you're at the finish line. Nice job. Big smile on your faces, you're almost there.
I started running when I was in 5th grade, and a lot of people in my family run, so it was always kind of the only sport that I was good at. I have no coordination, but I was athletic, so running was the one thing that I found that I could do. I had really bad shin splints, and they started in middle school when I really started running competitively, and they got really, really bad in high school to the point where I would take almost a full season off in between. Even when I was a sophomore in high school, they would tell me I hadn't been running for long enough, even though I'd been running for 6 years at that point.
I typically, because I did coach younger kids, a lot of shin splints and a lot of Achilles injuries, just because they would start increasing mileage too fast, too soon, and a lot of it is body mechanics. I think getting them in proper running shoes, starting mileage slowly, incorporating all the strength and mobility exercises can help prevent some of those injuries that young runners experience. But
I have a tarsal coalition in both my ankles, so basically 2 bones, like you have 3 ankle bones and then you have 2 here and 1 here, and like these 2 are fused together, and because of that they rub against the top one, so then that friction causes a lot of like inflammation, and like while I run it's not that bad, but like afterwards when I stand, like sit down, stretch and stand up again, like I get shooting pains and I'll be sore for the rest of the day. My ankles aren't as flexible, so it's a lot easier for me to roll my ankles, so I've had a lot of rolled, sprained, twisted ankles throughout my experiences running.
So this marks my 10th year competing, and I used to go on casual runs before the 7th grade, but never anything serious, so about 10 years. I only run 6 days a week because I always give myself an off day. Physically, I've been very lucky, and I've never had a serious running injury that's put me out for longer than a day, but I have had serious running injuries within the family. My older sister began running very quickly, in like a very short amount of time, and so she put a lot of strain on her body, and she ended up getting 3 stress fractures within 2 years, and now has serious knee problems that will never let her run again, which is really unfortunate considering how good she was. So it's always something that I've been really mindful of, is that you can't push your body too much because there's only a certain amount that you can take.
there's a huge difference, yes, between, I think the amount of running that's too much is very individually based, because you can be an elite marathoner and run over 100 miles a week and be just fine. A recreational runner would not be able to handle that amount of mileage. So you have to feed the right fuel into your body, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, the proper carbohydrates. Just, I see runners eating a more well-balanced, sensible diet.
Almost every season, I've had some sort of hip issue, and most of the time it's been like, it gets better with time. And I do physical therapy for it, so like I have exercises that I do all the time, just a lot of extra work and time, but it's worth it if they actually do end up helping. I've also had this chest tightness, and I'm not entirely sure what it's from. It's called costochondritis, and it's like inflammation in your chest. And running, it doesn't necessarily hurt you when you're running, but like it's not bad for you to keep running, but it's really painful and it's hard for me to run at my best.
I want to run. Like, there's surgery I can get. I'm waiting to do that, like as long as I can, because there's no like guarantee the surgery would work. So I'm waiting. I hope to, because like I try like spinning class and like on the crew team and such, but like none of it does the same thing for me mentally and physically as like running does. So I want to keep running.
It's also mentally tough to try and get over a physical injury. So not only do you have the physical thing that puts you out, but the mental aspect of it is so much harder too, because it's not something you have any control over.
And I'm usually pretty stressed out, so it really just helps me to go for a run. It just helps me relax, it helps me think.
Running makes you feel stronger. As a woman, I think being able to go out and run 3 to 5 to 6 to 10 miles in a day gives you this natural confidence that you can conquer anything, that you can make it through any challenge that you face.
I can confidently say that I think running is 99% positive, 1% negative.
So the positive effects of running mentally, it's a huge mood booster. Running helps you release, there's natural endorphins that occur when you run. Ever heard of a runner's high? There is such a thing. And running is a great stress reliever. If you've had a hard day at school, at work, going for a run helps blow off some of that steam.
I've been part of sports teams since I was really little, and it's just been a huge part of my life, and I've always been into athletics, and I think being part of a team and being able to do a sport, especially in college, is like, it's just, I feel lucky that I can do that, and I've always loved running. Like, it's a stress reliever for me most of the time, although like cross country can be such a mental sport. It's like practices every day, going out and running and like releasing all my energy is just really beneficial to me. And I've always been the kind of person where like I feel better if I exercise. Like, it helps my moods, it helps just I just in general feel better.
And even though I know people who've gotten hurt and who have had injuries and who push themselves too far, it's never something like, oh, I wish I never ran. They just wish they'd done it differently.
So I mean, I would never stop running, because I stopped for 2 months at that point, and my whole body was not into it.